Hey, so recently I attended the New York Botanical Garden annual Orchid Show. I actually went twice. I went once with Donna and once by myself. And I plan to go 2 more times, once with my mom and her boyfriend this members weekend so they could get a discount, and once with Tan and Nemo so that they could get the free tickets I got in the mail for being a member. I have 2 guest passes here for my friends who are not members but they want to go see the Orchid Show. Anyway, but what kinds of things would you see at the Orchid Show? Obviously orchids, but what kinds of orchids? What colors will there be? What are orchids? What types of orchids are there? There's so many questions, and hopefully this video will help to answer some of them. So this is the New York Botanical Garden Orchid Show for 2010. This is an annual show, so next year might be different. This year they're focusing on Cuban orchids, and the second time I went dressed up. This show is awesome, so I had to look awesome. I had my hat on, my tie on, my button-up shirt, and so let's just meet some of the orchids. Let's go right into meeting some of the orchids because that's what this is all about. And we started off with the Paphiopedilums. Now, Paphiopedilums and Phalaenopsis kind of go in the same category. They're like lady slipper orchids, and they both look really cool. So, Paphiopedilums have mostly 3 different colors, greens, pinks, and whites. And pinks could be anywhere from a light pink to really, really dark pink. They also have some black spots on some of them. So the Paphiopedilum on the bottom left is almost purely green, but it has these spots, green spots on it, so that it looks like chickenpox. It looks like it has chickenpox. The one on the right is really pink. I like the one on the bottom left with the black spots on the leaf. I think that looks awesome. The one on the bottom right also has black spots on the leaf, but they don't always have all these colors. Some of them are so pink that you don't see any of the green, and some of them, like the 2 on top, are so green that you don't see any pink. Now let's move on to Cymbidiums. For a long time, Cymbidiums have been my favorite type of orchid. They just look really cool. The leaves look like grass leaves. They don't even look like a normal dendrobium or Cattleya or anything like that. And at the Orchid Show, there was just a room full of Cymbidiums. It was like a field of them. And a few things about Cymbidiums. The colors look like they've been painted by pastels. They're like really light colors. Oh, I like this picture. So I was trying to take a picture of me with the Cymbidiums, and what happened was that my camera sort of morphed the picture. So it looks like I'm a Mad Hatter, and I'm in the middle of some sort of wonderland. So instead of Alice in Wonderland, I call this photo Jonathan in Cymbidium Land. Here are more Cymbidiums. The one on the right have more vivid colors, but still, they're really, I don't know, to me they have like a pastel sort of nature to them. Like I could draw them with crayons, and they would look almost exactly the same. Same with the ones on the left. But just for reference, I am colorblind, so if I'm saying anything that sounds weird to you, don't make fun of me. I'm just colorblind, okay? Don't make fun of my genetic disabilities. Another view of a room full of beautiful Cymbidiums. This is a Cymbidium that caught my eye. It's called Irish Elf, and it's really yellow and has a few dots on the lip, but I really like just the way it's so simple compared to other orchids that try to be completely awesome. Cymbidiums for a long time have been my second favorite orchid. My first favorite are the Paphiopedilums. This is another view of the same orchid, the Irish Elf Cymbidium. This is a pure yellow Cymbidium, a pink Cymbidium, just to show you the different types of colors. They're very different from Paphiopedilums. Phalaenopsis. Now, Phalaenopsis are one of the most common types of orchid you can get at any Home Depot. And there was a whole room dedicated to white Phalaenopsis. And I was like, why are they doing this? It looks like a wedding where the bride ran out and the groom left and all the guests left. And all you have left are these white orchids in a room. And it's like a complete room full of white orchids. I didn't like it. But here's some other colors. Here's some examples of the pink and whites and yellows of Phalaenopsis. And to the right in this picture, this is when you first enter the conservatory. They have like these really dark pink, almost purple Phalaenopsis that I thought were pretty cool, although they're pretty common. Again, you could get these at Home Depot. Now for Cattleyas. Cattleyas, I think, smell really nice. Well, a lot of Cattleyas, I should say, smell really nice. But I didn't see any regular Cattleyas. Mostly at the Orchid Show, what they had were hybrids. So here are some hybrids. Cattleyas, a lot of yellows, a lot of whites, and a lot of pinks. Again, these seems to be a theme. This is a white and pink Cattleya we found for sale in the store at the New York Botanical Gardens. Now let's switch over to dendrobiums. There are 2 types of dendrobiums. One with the flowers really close to the stems, and one that sits off a shoot with the flowers really far away from the rest of the plant. This is one of the dendrobiums they had at the show. It was in the same room as the Cymbidium field. However, these dendrobiums really caught my eye. When I first saw these, I thought they were Miltonia, the pansy orchid, because the lips were they looked flat from far away, and there were so many. I said, it's got to be Miltonia. So I came close, and I was like, whoa, they're dendrobiums. It's an optical illusion caused by the dark color on the lip. This is, in particular, one of the dendrobiums with the flowers close to the stem. Now, these are some examples of dendrobiums with the flowers far away from the stem and the leaves. So on the left you have a red dendrobium, on the right you have a white one. Now let's go to Miltonia. They're also called pansy orchids, and from this picture you can see why. They look like huge pansies. Here's another picture from Miltonia. These two pictures that you just saw came from the orchid store. Came from the New York Botanical Gardens store. These are some of the Miltonia at the show. I really like this plant in particular. It looks like a digital arts major in college just went wild with this. And it sort of looks like a bacteria that you see under the microscope under fluorescent lights or something like that. Under those lights that make them really glow. And it's just an awesome Miltonia. Here's another Miltonia. Here's another one. Now, Oncidiums and their hybrids. There weren't very many regular Oncidiums. Everything was highly hybridized at the show. So here are some cool Oncidiums. I actually brought Oncidiota at the show. Oh, the Darwin Orchid. I saw this and I'd never seen a Darwin Orchid before. I didn't even know Darwin had an orchid. I didn't even know this orchid existed until I went to the show and I saw it and I said I have to take a picture of it because I know this is special. It's pure white and it just looks wild. It looks like a star almost. It's like nothing I've ever seen. But speaking of things I've never seen before, Tolumnia. This is a genus of orchid I'd never heard of before I went to the show. But then I went to the show and I just fell in love. This is quickly becoming like one of my top 5 orchid genera. Along with the Cymbidiums and the Paphiopedilums. These are really, really small, but they're so cute. They come in all different types of colors as you can see in this picture. This picture must have over 75 plants in it. All different types of Tolumnia. They're really, really small. They're like this small each plant, and then the flower stalk comes to like about here. Seriously. And you can take like hours just photographing each different type of flower in this picture. At first when you see them, they look like small Oncidiums, but they're not Oncidium. The flowers look like they're Oncidiums, but they're not. When you look at the leaves, the leaves come out like this, as if they were bandas or something, but miniaturized. They're so small. It's really, really cute orchid, and you could have probably 12 of these in the same space that a Phalaenopsis might take up in your home. I'm not sure how to grow them though. I'm really interested. They sold them for like I think it was $38 at the orchid store. And that's it for the Orchid Show. Again, I'm planning on going 2 more times, once with my parents and once with my good friends Tan and Nemo. And by the way, Tan and Nemo, when you go, you have to dress up nice because I'm going to plan on taking a lot of pictures. And also, I plan on taking a lot of videos, some of which might show up on YouTube. Don't worry, I'll be dressed up nice again for the show because I'm awesome, obviously. Anyway, so that's about it for what you'll see at this year's Orchid Show in the New York Botanical Gardens. They have a lot more, and I highly encourage anyone who's in New York between now and April 11th to go. And if you're a member, you should go this weekend, because this weekend is Members Weekend, so you have discounts and free parking on all types of cool stuff. Anyway, I'll see y'all. Peace out, and I hope you have a great time.